Well, microplastics are turning up nearly everywhere you look in Texas waters. A new report released this morning finds tiny pieces of plastic in 76 out of the 77 waterways and coastal sites. Luke Metzger is the executive director of Environment Texas. His group is behind this study. Welcome, Luke. It's nice to see you again.
Good to see you, Jenny.
And so what is so significant about this report?
Well, that microplastics are being found all over the place in Texas, certainly in our urban centers, like Houston, here in Austin, but also in kind of more remote places like Blue Hole out in Wimberley.
Oh, not Blue Hole.
Yes, exactly. In Barton Springs, waterways that we all cherish and expect to be clean. Unfortunately, we're finding these microplastics all over the place.
And it's also the first report and map of where the microplastics are. And we said that your researchers found them in 76 out of 77 sites. What is that one lucky site that we did not find any microplastics?
Yeah, a pond on the campus of UT Dallas. For some reason, did not have the microplastics. So.
Okay, and so this study, did it show where the microplastics are gathering? What area of Texas has the most? What kind?
Yeah, well, so we did our own testing, and then we complemented that with existing academic literature out there. And so they've studied, scientists have studied Galveston Bay, the Rio Grande, the waterways in Lubbock. So we looked at all the research out there and compiled them into a statewide survey and map just to demonstrate how pervasive of a problem this is.
So what stood out to you, Luke?
Well, we know that one of the largest sources of the contamination are both fibers, synthetic fibers from our clothes, fast fashion that comes off, fragments that break off from everything from tires to plastic water bottles, as well as a source of microplastics that are less known that are called pre-production plastics. I have some here that we actually collected from Texas beaches, and these are turned into other.
Let's see, can we zoom in and just kind of show? Okay. And this is found on the beaches then?
Exactly.
Okay, if you can just keep still. I mean, it's not invisible.
No. Yeah, so the definition of microplastics is anything 5 millimeters or smaller. And so much of what we think of microplastics is invisible, and often those are called nanoplastics, so even smaller. But even this is considered a microplastic, and they turn these into the water bottle, into the plastic bag, but they spill from the factories. And so unlike a lot of the problems, which are hard to contain, this is this point source that we know how to stop it. We just need the leadership to get the factories to stop it.
All right, so do Texans need to worry about water reservoirs and our tap water? Two separate questions.
Yes, microplastics are being found in drinking water. The Environmental Protection Agency under the Trump administration recently considered taking action around setting limits. So even the federal government recognizes there's a risk to this, and it can absorb in our skin. And what scientists and health researchers are finding is that it can impact. It's getting into our blood, it's getting into our brains, getting into breast milk, and we're still learning what that means for our health, but there's correlation to everything from heart attacks to dementia. The research still needs to be conducted to fully understand, but what we know is we know enough to know that we need to take action to stop this pollution.
And Midday viewers know, we've had plenty of doctors on talking about studies that microplastics are in our organs and may even cause colorectal cancer. I mean, there's so many, like you said, they're still exploring, and it is definitely in our bodies and probably not good for us. So what is your group doing? A few months ago, you asked the state to take action. What is the status of that?
Still waiting for the state to take action.
What do you want them to do?
Yeah, we want, almost 100 doctors have asked the governor to create a task force to look at microplastics and study what they mean for our health. So that's the first thing. And then the second is that we can take action right now to stop these plastic pellet pollution. The TCEQ, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, is currently updating the surface water quality standards for the state. And so this is a unique opportunity. It only happens once every 3 or 4 years. They can act right now to adopt tough standards to protect us from microplastics.
We're running out of time. Luke, what can people do at home to reduce microplastics?
Reduce your exposure to plastics. Don't microwave plastic. Try and avoid plastic water bottles. And then, contact your elected officials.
There you go. Luke Metzger, thank you so much.